Tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 remains hoisted over parts of Luzon as tropical depression Isang continues to cross Quirino province. In its 5 p.m. bulletin on Friday, August 22, the State Weather Bureau says Isang was last spotted in the vicinity of Aglipay, Quirino. The tropical depression carries maximum sustained winds of 55 km per hour and gustiness of up to 90 km per hour. According to Pag-asa, Isang slightly slowed down as it now moves west-northwestward at 15 km per hour. Signal number 1 is still up over 16 areas in Luzon where strong winds may bring a minimal to minor threat to life and property. State meteorologists say heavy rains are expected over many parts of Luzon including Metro Manila due to Isang and the enhanced southwest monsoon. Pag-asa says Isang will continue to traverse northern Luzon and emerge over the West Philippine Sea on Friday evening. The agency forecasts Isang to intensify into a tropical storm by Saturday morning, August 23. Isang may also develop into a severe tropical storm while approaching the waters south of Hainan, China. According to Pag-asa, Isang will eventually exit the Philippine area of responsibility by Saturday morning or afternoon. The Sandiganbayan acquits former Vice President Jejomar Binay, his son, former Makati Mayor Junjun Binay, and several others of graft, falsification of public documents, and malversation of public funds related to the 2.2 billion peso Makati car park building. During the case's promulgation on Friday, August 22, the anti-graft court says the prosecution failed to prove their guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Aside from the Binays, the Sandiganbayan also acquits 20 City Hall officials and 2 other individuals. Both Binays were co-accused in the 2.2 billion peso Makati car park building case. The elder Binay was formally charged after he stepped down from his post and his defeat in the 2016 presidential elections. The former vice president was specifically charged with rigging the first 3 phases of the building when he was Makati mayor. Junjun Binay was charged with phases 4 and 5 of the building when he succeeded his father in the city hall. The younger Binay's first charge was over phase 4 of the construction with Hillmarks Construction Company. The project was awarded to Hillmarks despite the alleged absence of the accepted and approved plans, specifications, and performance security. Junjun Binay reportedly approved the release of 649.2 million pesos for the contract to Hillmarks, even though the accomplishment report and supporting documents were allegedly baseless and deficient. The younger Binay's second graft charge involved phase 5 of the project, wherein he released a 141.6 million peso payment supposedly under the same questionable conditions. On the other hand, his charges for falsification of public documents stemmed from his alleged role in falsifying an issue of the Balita newspaper and an affidavit of publication. This was supposed to make it appear that an invitation to apply for eligibility and to bid was published. The ombudsman had ordered to dismiss Junjun Binay and perpetually bar him from public office over administrative offenses of misconduct and dishonesty surrounding the Makati car park building case. Former Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Director Brigadier General Romeo Macapaz is facing administrative charges before the National Police Commission in connection with the probe of the abducted sabungeros. Last week, Elakim Patidongan accused Macapaz of unlawfully seizing their cell phones and taking their SIM and memory cards while being repatriated from Cambodia. Elakim is the brother of whistleblower Julie Patidongan, who said at least 34 sabungeros were killed and dumped in Taal Lake, Batangas. The Patidongan brothers filed a complaint against Macapaz before the NAPOLCOM on August 14. CIDG officers Lieutenant Colonel Russell Encarnacion and lawyer Jairus Vincent Consina were also named in the complaint. NAPOLCOM's Inspection, Monitoring and Investigation Service filed charges against Macapaz on Friday, August 22 for grave misconduct and conduct unbecoming of a police officer. In a press conference, Inspection, Monitoring and Investigation Service Chief Edman Pares explains that Encarnacion and Consina were dropped from the cases.
Sa tatlo pong ito pong sinasabi nga natin, meron po due process sa amin. After po namin silang pasagutin, madidetermine namin whether or not may probable cause. So, if on the basis of the evidence presented, makikita namin walang probable cause, then idadrop po namin sila sa kaso. At yung ipo-forward lang namin is yung may probable cause. In the case of, in the complaint filed by Elakim Patidongan, filed against Police Brigadier General Macapaz et al., yung dalawa niyang kasama, isa lang po ang nakitaan namin na may probable cause. That is yung kay Police Brigadier General Macapaz lang po. Yung dalawa niyang kasama, those cases were dropped po dahil wala po kami nakita ang probable cause to file a case against them.
The Patidongans alleged Macapaz attempted to paint them as the masterminds behind the reported kidnapping killings of the sabungeros between 2021 and 2022. Macapaz and the Philippine National Police previously maintained that they did intend to charge the Patidongans. They said this was so the Patidongans could be entered into the Witness Protection Program. On July 28, Macapaz was reassigned from being the CIDG director to being the chief of the Police Regional Office, SOC Sergeant. Macapaz has declined to comment, saying he will only answer to NAPOLCOM regarding the case. The Philippine Navy is flagging what it calls unusual Chinese activities near Ayungin Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, says at least 25 Chinese vessels and 2 aircraft were spotted around the shoal as of Thursday, August 21. The sightings include 11 smaller service boats, 5 larger ships, and 9 maritime militia vessels, along with a helicopter and a drone. A video earlier released by the Armed Forces of the Philippines shows a China Coast Guard boat attempting to approach the BRP Sierra Madre. The BRP Sierra Madre is a naval outpost aground in Ayungin Shoal. Trinidad says it was unusual for the Chinese vessels to show weapons, drop nets, and demonstrate their water cannons. He says troops removed fishing nets laid by Chinese vessels on August 20. Trinidad describes the nets as obstructions meant to hamper resupply missions. Despite the heightened Chinese presence, Trinidad says morale aboard the Sierra Madre remains high. He says Filipino troops are aware of what they face, especially in standing firm on the Philippines' position in the West Philippine Sea. The Navy official declines to speculate whether the incident was connected to recent Chinese actions in Scarborough Shoal. He says the military is focused on monitoring and reporting. On August 11, a China Coast Guard vessel collided with a People's Liberation Army Navy ship near Scarborough in pursuit of the Philippine ship PRP Suluan. Trinidad says the last similar activity near Ayungin was recorded in late 2024. While no new orders have been issued, he says existing operational plans already cover possible scenarios should tensions escalate.